The Wild Swans. There once lived a king who had 11 sons and one daughter. He married a wicked queen, and soon after the wedding, she turned the princess into 11 wild swans with a
strange
cry. They flew up into the clouds and away. The king asked the queen if she knew where the princes were. She merely smiled and shook her head. At dusk, the swan returned. They flew through the open bedroom window of the Princess Alida. At the sunset, their father fell off, and Alida's 11 brothers stood before her. By day we fly about as wild swans, said the oldest brother. Each night when the sun sank, we became human again. That night, Eliza dreamed that a fairy came to her. Your brother can be released, she says. You must gather nettles from the forest and use them to knit 11 shirts. If the shirt was thrown over the 11th swan, the spell was broken. Be warned, so the fairy added. From the moment you start your task until it is finished, you must not speak. The first word you speak will kill your brothers. The princess set out for the forest and began her work. She gathered many needles, which burned great
blisters
on her hands. With needles, she made yarn for the first shirt. Her brother returned at sunset, and when they saw her hang, the youngest brother wept. Where his tear fell, the pains stopped, and the blister vanished. Each day, Eliza knitted another shirt. When she needed more burning needles, she gathered them and hurried back to the castle. Each day at dusk, the brother returned to her. Each dawn, they flew again. They again became wild swans and flew away. But one morning, the queen saw them leaving Eliza's open window and grew worried. Next dawn, before they could fly away, the queen threw a giant net over the swan. She had men hold the swan to a dark cell deep in the castle's dungeons. Eliza found them there and continued to knit through the dark night outside the cell door. Then the queen announced that there would be a grand feast. Roast bird for everyone in the castles. Only Eliza knew the truth about the feast, and she could not speak it. She continued her task instead. In the morning of the feast, 10 shirts lay beside her at her brother's cell. She was working hard on the last shirt when the man came to hold the swan away. And the queen unlocked the cell door. Eliza threw the 11 shirt over the swans. they turned into 11 handsome princes. But the youngest brother's shirt was not quite done. He was left with a swan wing instead of an arm. When the king learned the truth about his new wife, he sent a guard to arrest her. On the throne, they found a vulture. The queen was never seen again. The end. Thank you for listening.